sick and tired of looking at myself, so I'm changing. Let's see. Do that, do that. Boom! Always like that part.
What, right before the trumpet?
When the trumpet comes rolling in.
Oh God, he's so good. Walter Parrott-Sater. No, wait.
Hayes.
He was the woodwinds guy, Parrott-Sater.
Hey,
yeah.
He's no Doc Severinsen.
But then he's still alive.
Yeah. Is Doc gone?
So.
Not sure. They got me wanting to Google Doc Severinsen. Hey, welcome in. It is the Exiles podcast, or as we like to call it, the Stream of Consciousness show.
Ah, yes, indeed.
La Divina Italian Cafe in the capital city, Baton Rouge, in Acadian and Perkins, and they are open for business right now, ready to make you a delicious breakfast, good hot cup of coffee, and don't forget, real Italian gelato.
So did I just get the same Facebook friend request that you got?
Yeah. What's her name? Alice Terry. I was showing Bill as we were getting set up. I had this Facebook friend request. I love it when it's it's a woman's name. It's a very attractive woman in the photo, but that photo, the profile photo, is all the information that account has.
Well, and here you go. You see Alice's info, and you've got no workplaces to show, no schools to show, no places to show. It says that her gender is female.
Seems legit to me.
But
how many guys do you know that will just say, they'll look at that pretty face and go, yes, Facebook friend.
Well, that's what they're counting on, Kevin.
It's like, no, sorry.
That's how a lot of women get elected to public office.
Yes.
Tea Party. Remember Sarah Palin? Everybody, she's hot. She wasn't hot.
She's hot.
She looked like a third-grade milk woman.
I'm sorry, I'm going to disagree. Sarah Palin was the definition of the MILF. She was the mom that guys could go, yeah, I could do that.
No.
I could do that.
Not with his. I'm pointing to Franz. Not with his, I wouldn't do her.
Oh, wow.
But I like
Why aren't you a Democrat? I'm kidding.
It has nothing to do with political party. Those big Coke bottle glasses and that talking like this. I grew up around that. I moved 1,000 miles to get away from that.
Now, she was the governor of Alaska at one time, but with that accent, was she from Michigan or Wisconsin or something like that originally? She sounds like a cheesehead.
Oh, yeah.
Geez.
I just have a pimento cheese sandwich in a tab.
In a tab.
Pimento cheese sandwich in a tab. But, the likes. She does have one thing, likes. She likes somebody named Gifty Osei Asante, who is a public figure.
He is?
Well,
maybe.
Okay.
Maybe in your country.
All right, here we go.
Dating goats is popular.
Are you ready? Here we go. And it's gone.
I love that. You got an incoming call. It says potential spam.
Oh yeah, that's the new. That's the new Verizon feature. Hey, no charge from Verizon Network. They will label incoming calls if the number is not in your directory or you've not called out to this number. They will label it as potential spam.
Spam alert.
Mm-hmm. I feel like answering, going, "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Spam. How are you?"
Ham and jam and spam.
But yeah, I'm getting those. It's always a young, attractive woman, and they have no info. And it's like, I really, I don't think I need to have you as a Facebook friend.
Now, I got one recently that was that same thing, and I clicked on it expecting it to be that same type of thing, if you will. And it turns out it's a local person.
You just don't know who it is.
Don't know her from Adam.
Well, it might be somebody who listens or watches, and
I'm still on the fence. The friend request is still there, but I don't know the person from Adam. But then again, I've got hundreds of Facebook friends that I've never met.
Yeah, if someone has, if they have their mutual friends with me listed, and they've got a few, then I'll say, okay, that's fine. Heard from the bass player in my first band when we were all like too young to drive. Our parents used to have to drive us to practice in our gigs. Mm-hmm. The very first bass player, Dennis Hetzel. And Dennis is now an author. He's got like 4 novels that have sold.
Interesting.
But we were I have a lot of friends that are bass players. I have you.
Well, former bass player.
I have Julius Sacco, who lives in Phoenix. Hi, Julius. Steve Berger from Long Time Coming, who's the one who sent me the
Good morning.
the audio recording of us playing that we played on the air actually
Audio recording of Bill singing.
it was a copy of our record is what it was. And then Dennis Hetzel was from our first band. The band was called The Bitter End.
Bitter End.
Oh, and it was. Just when we started making enough money to buy really good instruments, the band broke up.
Stupid band names.
Yeah, stupid band names.
I could run through some. The first band I ever belonged in after moving south, I belonged to a band in my home state called the Union Undergarment.
The Union suit.
Yeah, Union Undergarment.
Did anybody get it?
No, nobody got it. Even though that was a part of the country where people were still known for wearing a union suit, but nobody got it. Then it moved down here, and in Mississippi, I joined the band, and I said, "What's the name of the band?" And they said, "You're gonna laugh," because I laughed out loud. They said, "It's called Diamond Odyssey." And I did. I laughed out loud because we were a bunch of poor-ass white boys that barely had 2 nickels to rub together.
You sounded like you should have been covering Skylark.
Barely had 2 nickels to rub together, and we decided to call ourselves Diamond
Odyssey. Oh.
And I said, okay, Diamond is a cool word. Odyssey's a cool word. Any of you know what that is? The other 3 guys in the band couldn't tell me what the word Odyssey means. But they thought it was a cool word.
Was it spelled properly on the drum head?
I made sure it was spelled properly, but originally, no. It's like Oddisee. I belonged to a band called Black Wolf, which wasn't so bad.
That's not bad.
Southwind. And then one of my favorites, a short-lived band, but it was one of my favorites. I belonged to a little band that was a combo, and we could play full sets. We could either play 4 full sets of country music, or we could play 4 full sets of rock and roll music, or we could mix it up. But if we were booked in a country bar and they wanted us to play country music, we were Country Jack. And then if we were booked in a rock and roll bar and they wanted us to play rock and roll music, we were Nasty Jack.
Ah, I loved it.
Same band.
Now, we had a bunch of bands that were all together in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Some of them went on to great things. A lot of us just we got to mid-college and facing the draft, and we had to be enrolled full-time. But we put 2 bands together once. And we were laughing, said, what should we call this? The corporation? And I said, well, no, there's the association. We don't want to do that.
Everyone knows it's
Yeah, it is. And I came up with a name. This is the perfect band name if you're going to cover soul and R&B and rock and pop, and you're going to cover the wide range. You ready?
Hit me.
Are you ready? You sure you're ready?
Well, are they ready?
Out there in Facebook? Now think about this. This is the perfect name for a cover band of like 15 pieces that's going to do all kinds of music. Smoky Cool Go-Go and the Love Muscle.
There you go.
What do you think?
There you go. I always was fond of.
Wouldn't fit on the drum head.
I was fond of the name of the band on the Muppet Show. You remember Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem? That was just such a great name for a band. Shared this.
I got to ask you this before we leave bands.
Go ahead.
What is this great resurgence on Facebook of bass players? We demand respect too. The bass players are the backbone of every band. We demand respect.
Well, think about it though. What is the backbone of the band? It's the bass and the drums.
And the good-looking lead singer.
Bass and the drums. If the bass and the drums are not good, you can have the best, guitar players, singers. It's just not going to work.
Okay, so you saw the gift then with the drum set that was only the bass drum and the Fender jazz bass leaning up against it. You saw that gift?
No.
And it said the backbone of the band.
Well, I've always felt like it's imperative that the drummer and the bass player not only be good, but that they got to be good together.
Mm-hmm.
And that they've got, so when I was on stage, you would always see me, I would be turned and be not with my back to the audience, but turned to the side, and I was facing the drummer and making eye contact with the drummer. And me and the drummer always worked together because, if those two guys haven't got it, it doesn't matter. The rest of the band is screwed. But
Well, we used to also want them to be large so they could carry things.
yeah. In my youth, I'm not large, but in my youth, I was known for being able to pick up heavy things and schlep them.
If we were, if Mr. Keys was tiny, it was okay, as long as he could carry his little Farfisa mini compact, that folded up like a suitcase.
See, I was in a band with a Mr. Keys. They played a B3 organ.
Oh yeah.
With a Leslie speaker.
Okay.
So I took 4 guys to move his.
God damn.
Yeah, a Hammond B3 organ is like a huge console organ,
No.
and then that Leslie speaker is like 300 pounds.
Nothing like the sound of a Leslie. 2 years ago, Spanish Town Mardi Gras Ball, the Ides of March played the Spanish Town Mardi Gras Ball.
That must have been pretty cool.
It was cool because I walked in and I heard the B-side of our record, and I looked at Karen and I said, there's only 2 bands in the world that play that song. And we turned the corner and there was Jimmy Federick, and they brought on a guest artist. They brought on Felix Cavalieri of the Rascals.
Nice.
And they roll out this B3, and he's already on the stool, and I'm looking at Karen, I said, wait for it. She said, wait for what? And they roll out that Leslie.
You can't play a Hammond B3 organ without a Leslie speaker.
Why would you?
I understand now they have electronic devices that approximate the sound of a Leslie speaker, but it can't be the same.
Yeah, it's close.
Folks who don't know what we're talking about, a Leslie speaker, you've probably seen them back in the day. They had 2 horns that rotated they spun.
Yeah, the speaker was
That's
mounted
how you would
below
get this,
them.
You'd get this wonderful tremolo Doppler effect. So when they'd hit a sustained chord, and you'd go wham, 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 like that.
And you had a foot pedal.
You had a foot pedal to control the speed, and the Leslie speaker just it brought so much life into the sound of an organ. And do people even use? I mean, they use electronic keyboards to sound like whatever it is. You got horns in the song, use a keyboard. You got an organ in the song, use a keyboard.
Think of "Time Is Tight" by Booker T and the MGs.
Good example.
That organ at the front end of that. Anything by the Rascals.
How about "Foreplay" by the beginning of "Long Time" by Boston?
Yeah.
Good example of the Hammond
exactly.
B3 organ with a Leslie speaker. Moving off of music.
You gonna be talking about the Walmart?
I'm gonna, fun times at Walmarts. These things always happen at the Walmart. I shared this on my Facebook page earlier this morning. It's from WBRZ. A woman punched a man in the face over a dispute about wearing a mask inside Walmart. This happened at your Walmarts.
It's my Walmart.
Over on Burbank Drive. According to the sheriff's office, a man confronted the woman for not wearing a mask as they were both walking out of the store. Now, to me, once you're outside the store and you're in the open air, doff that mask. It's okay. Mm-hmm. But I've gotten the stink eye for taking the mask off as I walked out the door. What's up with that?
Are you sure it was for the mask?
Well, maybe it was just a general stink eye, but you never know.
Pray continue.
Anyway, the man confronts the woman for not wearing a mask. Her reply, she punches him right in the face.
Bloodied his nose.
Bloodied his nose and knocked him to the pavement. Now, this is another example of good writing. This is reading from the brief story. As they approached near the exit, the woman punched the man in the face where he sustained injuries but denied medical treatment. Refused medical treatment.
I deny that there is any medical treatment. It doesn't exist.
The woman was issued a summons for battery. The thing is, and my comment that I posted along with this is, look, wear the mask or don't wear the mask. If you want to wear the mask, wear the mask. That's fine. Be compliant. Wear the mask.
Why
don't appoint yourself the mask police and confront other people about it.
Leave people alone.
And what is it about Walmart that seems to lower the aggregate intelligence level of everyone inside, and even the smartest of people become morons inside Walmart?
I don't know. At least they didn't have every police, fire, and EMS unit in the entire universe converge on Burbank Drive for shots that weren't fired from a gun that didn't exist. They shooting up at the Walmart!
Yeah, that was the same Walmart.
It was the same one.
I remember all that. No shots fired at Walmart. There were no shots fired at the Walmart.
It wasn't even a gun, other than the ones that the police brought.
But Well, I kind of blame the news media for that. If they get a slow news day going on, they're going to jump at the opportunity to report anything.
Well,
But my thing is this: it's like, why do we feel like we have to confront people because they're not doing what we've elected to do? I know we're being told by the governor to do it, but really, when it comes right down to it, there's a thing that we practiced in this country for many, many years. If you don't believe in what you're being told by low-level government, you can exercise civil disobedience.
Well,
You just say, I'm not going to do it.
there's an even bigger belief that is called, you worry about your red wagon, I'll worry about my red wagon. It's called good manners.
You're right. Good manners is exactly right. But here's my thing about masks. Masks, originally, when they started this nonsense, they were all about for those situations where one could not maintain 6-foot minimum social distancing. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
But remember, we started 6-foot social distancing, wash your hands, and wear a mask when you can. But I always thought the mask was supposed to be for situations where we were going to be face-to-face and not be able to maintain that 6-foot distance. Now it's become, if you want to come in our store, you wear a mask.
Well, that's fine. If you own the store and you're paying the rent,
The store,
you can do
if
that.
the store
Yeah.
wants to comply with Governor Edwards and that it's their store.
Or maybe they just got really ugly customers and they like the mask thing.
Here's my problem with the mask. First of all, I'm one of those people that doubts the efficacy of the mask like Bill's got on his microphone, which is what most of us are wearing, or some people are just wearing. This is the thing that I love. Some people just get in a bandana, tying it around their neck, and they pull it up over their nose like they're about to hold up a train.
And that doesn't stop much.
It doesn't
you,
stop
you
much
could
of
see
anything.
the photos, the laser photos.
But
yeah.
nobody ever says, "Hey man, the bandana ain't enough." No, it's just if you got your face, you got your mouth and your nose covered, you're fine with everybody, even though it may be completely useless. My problem is this: when I go into stores, especially, let's take Walmart as an example. I will never do the self-checkout in Walmart because A, I don't work for Walmart. Just not going to do it because I don't work for you. You should be happy enough to get my business. Don't make me ring up my own stuff. I like the interaction with the checker.
Oh God.
And you know what I really love to do? Because some of it drives them crazy. Because there are checkers who, let's just say, they don't really love customers all that much. That's not their favorite part of the day is dealing with the customers, and that's why I love to be nice, and try and get them engaged in conversation and talking. And one thing I do a lot is I smile at people. They can't see your smile behind that mask. My problem with the mask is...
Oh, but with you, they can see it in your dreamy eyes.
My problem with the mask is it depersonalizes each and every one of us.
And see,
It really does. It depersonalizes us. And I am a conspiracy theorist, so I wonder, to what extent does somebody want us all to be depersonalized?
wait, we've been depersonalized for years. Please, we're all numbers.
You know, I like, hey, how you doing? I have, at my Albertsons, I have people, I know them by their first name. I know their kids' names. I ask them how they're doing.
You need to go out and buy a life.
No, I have a life. I have a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life, Bill.
See, now I
See,
admire...
Clarence just got his wings.
Clarence Buzz?
Yeah.
See, I admire that you enjoy your interactions with those at the checkout counters and that you're nice to them, and I think that's admirable. For me, I cannot stand having money in my hand, watching someone talk to someone else on the cell phone, ringing up my purchase incorrectly, and speaking a language which I am not familiar with. So I have to keep saying, I'm sorry, say that again. I will take the self-checkout option every time.
But again, with the mask, I was having a conversation with a young lady just the other day. I'm trying to remember where. Oh, it was the pharmacy at Albertsons. I was picking up my monthly meds. And yes, I'm on my meds. She and I couldn't understand each other. I kept asking her to repeat herself. She kept asking me to repeat herself. Why? Because we have and 2 layers of Lexan in between us. I think we're being a little...
Yeah, that'll bounce it right back at you.
I think it's possible we may be being a little overcautious with this thing.
Yes, and you don't forget. Make sure you're wearing clean underwear in case you get into an accident.
That's what my mother always told me.
Now, having worked in an emergency room, I can promise you, if it was a bad accident, there was no clean underwear. Because the truck is...
There's certain involuntary responses.
The truck is coming right at you. First you say it, then you do it.
Yep.
And this is time for us to have our break. When we come back...
Golly.
When we come back... Yes, there's more. When we come back, Franz Borghardt will join us. We're going to talk about standing on your front lawn with your guns.
These people in St. Louis are getting shafted.
They be shooting up in the Walmart.
I hope the state attorney general turns this thing around on the local authorities.
The only thing I would charge the female with is public ugly.
And not knowing how to hold a gun. She's like, I will eat you.
Don't go anywhere. Well, some of you may want to go somewhere, but those of you who have decided you want another half hour,
Put it this way, please don't go.
Stay, there's more,
Yeah.
and it's even better.
Quick coffee break, and we'll be back with part 2, the Exiles podcast.
Part 2. Hiya, Franz. You're up now.
Sir?
May I refill your cup for you?
Oh, no, I still got half.